And I think just in the sport of boxing right now, I think we need to start sticking more together.
Hmm.
You know, pushing each other to be great instead of arguing on social media. That's just my opinion. And push each other in a positive way.
This is a major moment in boxing as the legend Floyd Money Mayweather, who helped build Gervonta Tank Davis into a world champion, just broke his silence on the chaotic punch outside Miami Airport. Floyd's reaction isn't what anyone expected. He says the punch was staged, and he's speaking out now. What's he revealing? And why is Floyd trying to burst this hype bubble? Let's break it down. If you haven't seen it, the footage is chaotic. Tank approaches Jake Paul outside Miami International Airport. Jake's crew has cameras rolling. Jake smirks, shoves, and suddenly Tank connects. Jake stumbles and falls to his knees. Onlookers shout, phones drop, security jumps in. It was total chaos. But now, Floyd is saying the punch feels scripted, like the airport moment was just a setup to build hype for a pay-per-view event. And Floyd isn't alone. Dana White of UFC has warned against believing such spectacles at face value. Even Jake Paul himself admitted that the whole run-in with Floyd in Dubai was staged to go viral. Floyd thinks the airport punch might be part of the same playbook, and he's determined to expose it.
A lot of people thought the Floyd thing that happened recently was a big PR stunt with you two.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah?
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. That's what I kind of wanted to talk about it on this.
No way. You know I went to bat for you.
Bro,
for
I
this.
still have like 3 or 4 things to unload.
I went to
on.
bat for you on
What
this.
did you say?
I was like, Jake's not like everyone's like, oh, Jake's a big pussy for running. I was like, you stand in front of 10 dudes and see how you do.
25 dudes.
But this was set up.
Yeah.
So you and Floyd are like talking about the stuff. Like,
Yeah.
yo, run up on me in this van.
Yeah, we
No
were like,
way.
let's set this up and make this go viral.
Jeez.
This was like us at dinner, like
Oh, no way. Fucking hell.
planning it out. I don't. You know what's crazy is that like I was debating on whether or not to like reveal that the whole Floyd thing was fake, but I was just like, fuck it.
Floyd has stayed largely quiet, but sources close to him say he believes the Miami airport punch was a planned stunt to drum up attention ahead of a massive event. And given Jake's open admission that he set up the hat jack moment to make headlines, Floyd's calling it out as PR theater, not genuine beef.
Fight. Since you lost, what's up, Jake? Where you going, Jake? Oh, he's running! He's running! Look at him!
But why is Floyd exposing all of this? There's more to the story. Floyd built Tank's career from the ground up. He put him on the biggest stages, made sure he was talked about, and most importantly, made sure Tank knew that all of it was thanks to Floyd.
Tank Davis, he was a young kid, came up to me when he was a kid, wanted an autograph. I signed his phone for him and told him, you'll be world champion someday, and I'll be your promoter. Years later, he was working with some people from our team because our team is huge. We got guys in D.C., Baltimore, Philly, New York, all around. He won a few fights. I think he was like 8 or 9 and all. I told him, in under 24 months, you'll be world champion. Made the right moves, put him in the right position. He's a multi-millionaire now.
Absolutely.
He was a kid that couldn't even buy a bus ticket. Now he's a multi-millionaire.
But the second Tank started thinking for himself, things got ugly. Tank left Mayweather Promotions and started calling his own shots. He cut ties, started throwing shade, and made it clear that he didn't need Floyd anymore.
Has the time come, I gotta ask you this, has the time come for Tank Davis to take control of his own career and leave Mayweather Promotions?
It don't necessarily have to be leave Mayweather Promotions. It's about just becoming that man, handle your own responsibility, your own priority. So I feel as though it's my career, so I feel as though I need to be the one to control my career. You know what I mean? So, and it's time. You know what I mean? Everybody don't need to, have them training wheels on them forever. You know what I mean? It's time to, ride their own bike without training.
And if there's one thing Floyd Mayweather hates, it's a fighter who thinks they can outgrow him.
Like, I gotta do that.
A lot of people don't know that what Floyd do. He said.
So you feel like it was a sub, like he was subbing you, like, oh, like
he was going at me. He was going at me, and I knew for sure he was going at me. That's why I went at him. There's no reason for me to go at Floyd.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Cause I feel like y'all got, I would say love hate, but it's been like the last interview you showed them love. This week it was whatever. But is that sometimes like, you know, is it just like big bro, little bro seeing things different, or what is it to you?
No, Floyd don't never. He felt as though I'm at that point where as though I passed him. And I'm doing it at a young age. Wait, like when Floyd was 29, you'll see, bro.
Yeah.
That deal that I'm talking about.
Yeah. Oh, that's a part of the
deal. He don't know about that yet. But that's bigger than his deal.
Damn. Wow.
And I'm just releasing
This is
it.
exclusive. That's exclusive. Bigger than Floyd deal?
Yeah.
Tank, don't cap, nigga. That's a lot of bread.
But it wasn't that personal until this happened. Ryan Garcia publicly alleged that Tank was involved with Floyd's daughter, Yaya. Now, no one really believed Ryan, because it's Ryan Garcia. He says wild stuff all the time. But hey, Tank broke the silence himself, and it turned out Ryan was right all along.
Because Ryan is on the internet right now saying that he knows the root cause of the Tank Davis and Floyd Mayweather beef. And this was news to me, that there's a possibility that Tank had a relationship with Floyd's daughter. It's not official news. If Ryan Garcia said it, it's definitely not official news. And I'm not gonna act like he doesn't have a relationship with Tank Davis and Floyd Mayweather, like where there's smoke, there couldn't be fire. There is clearly something going on between Floyd and Tank Davis.
His daughter, she a grown woman. She do what she want to do, when she want to do it. You know what I mean? So
yeah, but is Tank right for that though?
Yeah.
Yeah, but is that good business to sleep with your business partner's daughter?
Business is business and personal is personal. We can't let this get between our money, man.
And Floyd didn't take it lightly. That was the breaking point of Tank and Floyd's relationship.
Do you think Floyd did that intentionally?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Why? After so much time, after like, I guess, again, after what we think he helped you come into the game, he gave you the spotlight. Like, why would he try to diminish your career?
Cause at that time I don't want to go too deep into it, cause I don't want to bring up but it was somehow that they were saying that I was messing with his daughter off of the fact that she kept Snapchatting me.
Okay.
She kept hitting me on the Snapchat. So they sent it to Floyd, and Floyd bugged out.
Okay.
So that's what made it like.
And you think that was a downfall of y'all career? I mean, y'all
no, it was a
relationship,
downfall.
not career.
Yeah,
relationship.
It wasn't a downfall of my career. I mean, our relationship, because it was more things that he was doing. Like
he scheduled a fight, I think.
Now Floyd seems eager to pull back the curtain, exposing everything he views as manufactured hype, emotional manipulation, and distraction. He sees this airport punch as the latest attempt to monetize drama and shift attention from real boxing.
No, real quick, actually, I just wanted to say I saw Gervonta Davis was in here for a minute. I don't know if he's still in here. I know he has his big
Tank on here.
Yeah, Tank. Tank. Yeah, well, I don't know if he's still on here. I don't know if he's still on here. I don't know. He might have bounced. I don't know. He might have bounced. He was only on for a second. Tank, you want to come in, Tank? Can I bring you in? I would love to bring you in. Baby. Only because I know for like the longest Tank has had an issue with fight hype, with me. I like, bro.
Pull him in. Pull him in. Hold on.
I don't know.
How do I do it? You gotta do it.
I think I gotta do it.
One thing's confirmed. Tank versus Jake is scheduled for November, according to Eddie Hearn.
Maybe it can be. It's not a terrible fight. You know, we know that Gervonta's going to fight Jake Paul in November, and then we'll see what happens. If
That fight is already being marketed as a Netflix clout showcase, not a pure boxing event. Floyd suspects the airport punch was planted to boost pay-per-view numbers.
I got to ask you, how real or what was to it with you and Tank actually being a thing? Was that something that was talked about?
Yeah, no, it was highly talked about and in negotiations and almost ready to make happen, but he has to do his rematch with Lamont and get that W, and then we'll be able to run it back. But me and Gervonta were scheduled to fight for sure.
The November matchup raises a ton of questions. On one side, you've got Jake Paul, a legitimate cruiserweight, lingering around 195 pounds. On the other, Tank Davis, a 135-pound lightweight champ. That's a 60-pound gap, 6 whole weight classes in boxing terms.
If you do fight, what weight would it be at?
195. It would be an exhibition.
Okay, so it was going to be an exhibition, not sanctioned, but no restrictions. You can knock each other out and shit like that. It was going to be at a catch weight of 195 pounds, 10 rounds, 3 minutes. I've been trying to figure this out. Why was I a Tank hater for wanting to see Tank go up 5 pounds to get some smoke with like Teofimo Lopez or something? I just wanted to see him go up 5 pounds and fight Teofimo Lopez. And all of you were saying, you want Tank hurt, Showbiz. You a hater. You want him hurt. Then I'm convinced, okay, he's too small, but he can fight Jake at 195?
It's a David versus Goliath that no one sees as a real competition. It's size versus skill. It's entertainment over integrity. Floyd says fighting Jake is the wrong move. It dilutes Tank's standing as a true boxing star. If Tank loses or gets hurt, his legacy takes a hit. Floyd's all in on authenticity. Put Tank in the ring with real elite boxers, not clout-driven influencers.
Yeah, no, we're working on it behind the scenes to make that happen, and obviously that's a fight where the fans are going to win, and it's going to be the biggest event of the year.
What weight would you fight him at?
We're working on it, but it'd be an exhibition most likely.
But before Tank can even think about that November clash with Jake Paul, he's got an even bigger obstacle waiting in the ring: the rematch with Lamont Roach this August.
I already signed. My first contract is signed for an immediate rematch in the case of a draw or if I win. So I'm already contractually signed to a rematch. It's on him. I hope we can get it done because I want to show the world again that that wasn't a fluke.
Let's not forget, their first fight was a controversial mess. Some fans say Roach did enough to win, especially after that 9th-round knockdown that many felt the ref missed.
Tank did that, so I know the got in his eye, but they should have countered it. They would have countered it, it would have went to Lamont Roach. What I didn't like about Tank, he was gassing up Lamont Roach way too much, and he was already talking about like retiring.
He seemed a little distracted, didn't he, in the fight?
That wasn't the same Gervonta Davis we're really used to seeing.
It just lets you know how corrupt like these governing bodies are, bro. If that dude took a knee, not only did he take a knee, he's like, hold on real quick. Let me get this out of my eye. How is that not a point? Like,
you know, funny thing, bro, that's why I cut my braids off. I had braids, and I had the same thing. I went through the same shit. When I fought Andre, that shit was burning my eyes, so I cut that shit off.
That controversy left a mark on Tank's record, and his credibility took a hit. This rematch isn't just about defending his belt, it's about defending his name.
You live and you learn. I definitely could have. That was on me, too. That was on me for sure. Because I ain't pick it up when I supposed to pick it up. And I could have definitely did more. Definitely did more. He caught me with a good shot, but it was times that I sat in there with him and I'm like, damn, this guy like super slow. Well, not super slow, but he's slow. And I could have took advantage of the moments, but I think I was boxing too much in the beginning. And when I felt like he was slow, it was just all relate down the line type of thing. But I should have pressed the issue. I could have stopped him. It's me. Definitely my fault.
If Tank slips up, Roach could walk away with the win, and that would derail everything Tank has planned for the rest of the year. That's why the fight Jake does not make sense at all for Tank.
This might be the worst thing that ever happened in the history of humanity. Jake Paul is set to fight Gervonta Tank Davis in November. This is ridiculous. First of all, Tank, I know you're known for not taking the hardest fights, but you at least fight actual boxers. What are you doing? You know, besides getting that bag. Second, Jake, why are you doing this? You're a bad person. Let's ignore the fact that I have personally watched this man rob a P.F. Chang's. Let's talk about his refusal to fight real boxers. He gets criticized for refusing to fight real boxers, so he fights Mike Tyson, a 60-year-old boxer. He gets criticized for fighting a 60-year-old boxer, so he fights a current championship boxer who is literally 100 pounds lighter than him. Tank Davis is a lightweight, 135 pounds. Jake Paul is a cruiserweight, 235 pounds. You're never beating this fraud allegation, Jake, so why are you doing this? What do you guys think of this fight? And don't tell me anything good. Say it in the comments, though.
Let's say he wins the rematch against Lamont Roach in August. Let's say he dominates, shuts all the doubters up, becomes invincible Tank again. You'd expect him to call out Shakur Stevenson or maybe even Devin Haney again, right? Nope. Instead, he's chasing a Netflix fight with a YouTuber.
Who were you going to call out? What was the plan originally?
I think he was here. He came in my locker room.
Shakur Stevenson?
He wasn't in my locker room.
Jake Paul?
Next question.
How does that make any sense? Now let's flip it. Let's say Tank loses to Roach. That's back-to-back L's against a fighter who already almost beat him in the first match if that knockdown had been counted. If Tank loses that rematch, the Jake Paul fight loses all value. Like, who's gonna watch a dude who just lost to Lamont Roach fight Jake Paul?
Didn't say you got your eye on Tank. What do you think about the rumors of Tank and Jake fight?
Man, Tank disrespectful to the sport if he choose that over fighting with me. I'm the best fighter in the sport. I've been telling him that. And he called cap on it. So if you gonna call cap and say I'm not who I say I am, come prove it.
It'll look like a desperation move, like a cash out, like a guy who doesn't want to fight real boxers anymore.
What do you think of former athletes and celebrities like Jake Paul taking up boxing? You think that grows the sport?
If he's doing it for the right reason, actually want to do it because of just like actually want to box, it's cool. But if he's doing it for like the wrong reason, just to get the hype and stuff like that, I feel as though it's trash. Sometimes people get bored at what they doing, and they want to try other stuff. Got to be mentally tough to be able to box. So that's why I don't take that away from some fighters or some people that want to jump into the sport. So just show how tough you are. That's how it should be.
For sure. That's all I got. Thank you, bro.
Thank you.
Nice to meet you.
Tank fighting a YouTuber like Jake Paul is a strictly money move. Let's be real. It's not about legacy or belts. It's about the cash grab. And guess who taught him that playbook? Floyd Mayweather himself. Floyd turned boxing into a business, fighting YouTubers like Logan Paul and turning exhibitions into gold mines. Now, Tank's taking a page from Floyd's own book, and Floyd can't stand it. It's an ego thing.
When Floyd left Bob Arum, it's good for them to do it and become their own boss. And then if another guy does it, it's not good for the sport. He's disloyal. And what's wrong with Tank saying he want to be his own boss? And honestly, I've been there. The relationship between them two is very toxic. It's a toxic relationship. It's up and down and up and down. And I'm not going to elaborate to everything that I know, but it's a very toxic relationship. And that's why when I tweet stuff, I don't tweet often, but when I tweet, I may fire off 50 tweets in the day. And that's why when I tweeted certain things about the relationship, Tank retweeted it because he knows. Like, I'm not just going to say what it is. It's a very toxic relationship. It's back and forth. And I think it will serve him best to go and be his own boss.
Floyd wants to be the best at everything, whether it's boxing or business, and seeing Tank thrive in the same space he built, that's a hit to his pride. Floyd paved the way, but he's not ready to share the spotlight. Right now, Tank's storyline is confusing. On one hand, he needs to redeem himself against Lamont Roach.
When he fought Lamont, it was like he was there, but he wasn't like there for real. Like when you watch all his other fights, you can see like his eyes just look different. When he walked into the ring with Lamont, it was just like, yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, because you heard in the press conferences, he was just saying he was just real irritated. He didn't really seem like
he just felt like I think he just trained just to get by. I think he trained to just do 12 rounds. You know what I mean? The Tink that I know, the kid that you punch him in the face, he go crazy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or if I'm down on the scorecards, I'm gonna go out and go get it. I didn't see it that fight, and I understand it too. When us as fighters, when you get to a certain point in life, sometimes you just don't want to do it.
Yeah.
They had a controversial draw. Many scored it for Roach. That's his August rematch, a chance to silence critics and prove he's still elite. On the other hand, there's this stage show with Jake. Same lightweight champ versus heavy clout influencer. Floyd thinks it's damage control gone public, not a smart career stat.
After Canelo, obviously, didn't materialize, was the next one Tank?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that was on the 1 yard line as well, but he has to rematch, Lamont Roach. He wants to get that back. And then we'll be back in discussions with Mr. Gervonta. But man, this is the nature of boxing. You have massive fights on the 1 yard line and things just fall through.
As you're watching it, like he was a gigantic favorite, and this is on the heels of the Canelo thing. Are you like, what the fuck is going on here?
I don't know, though, because I never really thought Tank was that good. It would just take the right fighter to pick him apart, to be honest. Someone who had high activity and wasn't afraid of his power. So I always saw so many holes in his game. So to me, it wasn't that surprising that someone finally gave him some good work.
If you do fight, what weight would it be at?
195.
Oh, wow. So he would go all the way from 40 to 95?
Yeah, I mean, it would be an exhibition.
Okay. And so what does that mean? Is that 3-minute rounds?
Yeah, 10 3-minute rounds.
And when you say exhibition, like, what are the restrictions on that?
No restrictions, just the fact that we couldn't actually get it professionally sanctioned.
Okay. Is that still of interest to you? Like, if he wins the rematch and you beat Julio, is that of great interest to you later this year?
For sure.
Size is real. Power is real. Jake has recorded knockouts. He can take someone's lights out. Tank is smaller, but he's a boxer's boxer. Floyd's challenge is clear. It takes just one shot, and Tank's reputation, legacy, and career could all implode. It's a dangerous gamble to step into the ring with someone so much bigger. Floyd knows it. He's saying it. This isn't just hype. This is manipulating career risk for entertainment buzz.
Tank was looking past Roach, and he wanted that Jake Paul fight, which I think Jake Paul would have beaten. Jake is way too big. Tank is 5'5", 135, soaking wet. Y'all think Tank is too small for 140. He ain't beating no heavyweight. I'm not joking. I don't think he would have hurt Jake. He would have to jump up to reach. I don't think he would have hurt him. I tell you this, it would have gone the distance, and people would have been laughing their asses off, and it wouldn't have been good for Tank's brand. I tell you that. That fight would have went the distance. Soon as 5'5" Tank is looking at a 6'2", 6'3" Jake Paul, y'all would have been like, hold, wait a second. And Jake Paul be on spread out paws with that arm out and stepping back. And bro, I'm telling you, bro. I'm telling you. But that's a cat. Fine. We'll never get to fight anyway, so we'll never know.
So that's all from today's video. If you enjoyed it, remember to leave a like, subscribe, and ring that bell icon so you never miss our upcoming videos. And don't forget to share your thoughts in the comments section. Stay tuned, and we will catch you in the next video.